One of the knives in knife block theory, where you want to try and have 7 to 12 knives for each one of your characters, things like a named character that your character cares about, and you can even come up with that character. You can even create that character and put them aside. Like my character in my current D&D campaign that I'm playing with my buddies. Well, I haven't played in a while, but he is a twin, and he watched as a royal who was a servant of a dark evil god sacrificed his sister and then ate her flesh, and there was nothing he could do about it at the time. And so his whole character motivation, and I'm sure that if I added more knives in, I could make it even better, but his main character motivation is to get back to that world and to end that royal lady. And so it's going to be some fun stuff. Now, one of the knives that it suggests, though, is a phobia or traumatic thing that has happened in the background. Now, this does not make your character weaker, because your character has become who they've become in spite of this thing. So they are actually a stronger character. I can actually give you an example from my personal life. When I was about maybe 3 or 4, maybe a little bit older. Actually, no, it would have been after 4, because we'd already moved to Utah. So maybe I was 5 or 6, but I went out with some kids that I was playing with, and we got up on this hill that led right up on this roof of a kind of a barn underneath. It was an old barn, like gray wood, and it smelled old, and it had like years and years and years of hay that hadn't been all the way cleaned out underneath it. But they led me out on this roof, and while I was walking out there, I hit a rotten plank, and I fell through, and I landed with my arms out, and I landed with my arms between the 2 rafters, and I could look down the hole, and I could see the ground. The ground was like 20 plus feet below me, and it scared me so deeply that I could not do heights for a very, very, very long time. I was terrified of heights. And so it's not a phobia. It's a legitimate fear. And it wasn't until my son was 10, almost 11 years old, that he got to go on a camp out up at Camp Williams. And at Camp Williams, I went over from a 45-foot tower, and I used the hand clutched rappelling rope, and I dropped myself down just on the rope. And when I hit the ground, I let out the biggest war whoop, and it has made me a stronger person, because I faced a fear, a legitimate fear that I had.